Search engine marketing is all about improving your site's ranking within Google search results. And you do that by optimizing your site for search, something called search engine optimization. Let's look at some of the more effective SEO techniques. To me, the most effective technique is not a little trick or anything like that. It's really nuts and bolts improving your site's content. People are going to visit your site when you have good content, when it's worth visiting. And Google also is going to rank your site high if it has unique, valuable content. So that's where you have to start. You have to start with what you offer the customers and what the search engines see. You have to have unique, valuable content. That said, you have to organize your site in a way that the search engines can see the content and know what's important and what isn't. So you have to organize both your site and each individual page so that the most important information is easily visible up at the top. You have to provide a clear hierarchy of information on each page on your website. You also need to choose appropriate keywords for your site. And keywords are important everywhere on the web. We know they're important in pay-per-click advertising. They're key to that, actually. But in terms of search engine optimization, Google and other search engines look for the keywords. They look for the words that people are going to be searching for. They want to make sure that your site includes those keywords. So, once you've figured out what people are going to be searching for, what your customers are going to be searching for, include those keywords on your site within the body text and also within the HTML tags. Tags. You want to use those meta tags in the HTML, the title tag and the keywords tag, because the search engines, the search spiders, will look at those tags within the HTML to pull out the keywords. They'll look obviously within the text of your website, but they're also going to look at those HTML tags. So pick your keywords, use them in the meta tags. Google especially looks at other sites linking to your sites in terms of establishing what they call the page rank. And the more inbound links you have, especially the more relevant inbound links you have, the more Google figures, hey, there's something important here. It's kind of a popularity contest, but it works. If you have a lot of sites linking to your site, Google says they must have important content there. They're going to rank you higher. So you should do whatever you can in terms of contacting other sites to link back to you. Obviously, if you have great content, they're going to link back to you without you doing anything. But you can also go out there manually and try to encourage these inbound links. You should also, not that it's absolutely necessary, but it helps, and every little bit helps, submit your site to Google, Yahoo, and Bing. There's search site submittal procedures at each site. It's easy to do. Generally, you just have to provide the home page, and they'll do the rest. But make sure they find you. Don't depend on the spider or the crawler stumbling over you. Be proactive about it. To that end, you should create a site map of your site. This is something a particular type of file which lays out the content of your site page by page by page in the order. And the spiders will look at site maps to dive deeper within the content on subsequent pages in your site. So site maps are important. Here's another important one, and this is kind of a thing not to do. The Google and other search engines unfortunately do not they're not capable of pulling content from images or videos or flash animations. So if you have important content in an image file, Google won't see it. If your homepage is nothing but a big image, it's going to be invisible to Google. So you do not want to place key information in images or videos. Use text. I know that might be limiting in terms of design, but again, if you rely too heavily on images or videos, flash animations, that sort of thing, your site's going to be invisible to Google, and that's not what you want. Our final techniques here. You want to keep your content fresh. Old content, for one thing, does get stale. People don't want to see it. But the spiders, the more you refresh your pages, the more Google has something to index again. So you want to keep your content fresh, whether that's monthly, weekly, or whatever. Finally, and I think this is the most important, and it really goes back to the very first tip. To get good content on your site, you have to know what people are looking for. You need to know your customers, your visitors. If you know what your customers want, then you know the kind of site to build for them. You know what's important to them. So it really should all start with knowing your customer, feedback to the content, and then we can use the other little tips and techniques to fine-tune and boost your rankings. But you do all this stuff, you optimize your site for search, and keep doing it over time. You can't just do it once and think it's done. But you keep optimizing your site, you will improve your search rankings, and that's a good thing.